It is dangerous to follow a motorcycle too closely because a. They do not follow the same rules as motor vehicles. b. A motorcycle can stop much faster than a standard vehicle. c. They brake more slowly than motor vehicles. b. A motorcycle can stop much faster than a standard vehicle. Motorcycles can stop quickly, and following them too closely endangers your life and that of the motorcyclist. If the motorcyclist makes a mistake, you need to have enough time and space to avoid a crash. Only fill in the blank can reduce blood alcohol content, BAC, and alcohol's effects on the body. A. Drinking caffeine. B. Eating foods high in fat. C. Time. C. Time. Only the passage of time can remove alcohol and its impairing effects from the body. You are involved in a minor collision at an intersection. There are no injuries and there is very little vehicle damage. You should a. Leave your vehicle in the traffic lane until law enforcement arrives. b. Move your vehicle out of the traffic lane, if possible. c. Not move your vehicle for any reason. b. Move your vehicle out of the traffic lane, if possible. After a collision, if no one has been injured or killed and you can safely do so, you should move your vehicle out of the traffic lane. A steady green traffic light at an intersection means a. Increase your speed. b. Adjust your mirrors. c. You may continue through the intersection at a safe and reasonable speed, if it is clear to do so. c. You may continue through the intersection at a safe and reasonable speed, if it is clear to do so. A steady green traffic light indicates that the driver may continue through the intersection. The driver should yield to traffic or pedestrians already in the intersection and proceed when the intersection is clear.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
A broken yellow line between two lanes of traffic means a. Both lanes of traffic are going in the same direction. b. Passing is permitted when it's safe. c. Passing is not permitted. b. Passing is permitted when it's safe. Dashed yellow lines separate single lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. Passing is allowed when there is no oncoming traffic in the passing lane. If you are being followed too closely on a two-lane road, a. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. b. Speed up to increase the distance between you and the other car. c. Apply your brakes to slow down, then resume your original speed. a. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. If you are being followed too closely by another driver, merge into a different lane. If there is no lane available for merging, wait until the road ahead is clear and slowly reduce your speed. This will encourage the tailgater to drive around you. This sign means a. No U-turn. b. No left turn. c. No right turn. c. No right turn. Where this sign is posted, it is prohibited to make a right turn. It would be unsafe and unlawful to make a right turn at an intersection with this sign. When turning left at an intersection, A. You should always yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. B. Oncoming traffic and pedestrians should yield to you. C. You should never yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. A. You should always yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. Drivers making left turns must yield to oncoming traffic that is traveling straight. Drivers must always yield to pedestrians. Which of these statements is true about drugs and driving? A. Any prescription drug is safe to use if you don't feel drowsy. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. C. Only illegal drugs can impair your driving. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. Legal prescription and over-the-counter drugs can impair your ability to drive, including drugs taken for colds, hay fever, allergies, or to calm nerves or muscles. It is illegal to drive while under the influence of any drug that impairs your ability to drive safely. This law does not differentiate between illegal, prescription, or over-the-counter drugs. Double solid yellow line markings down the center of a road indicate that passing is A. Allowed from both directions. B. Allowed only from your direction of travel. C. Not allowed from either direction. C. Not allowed from either direction. A double yellow centerline means that it is prohibited for traffic from either direction to cross the centerline to pass. You want to park downhill on a two-way road and there is no curb. Which way do you turn your front wheels? A. Straight ahead. B. Right, toward the side of the road. C. Left, toward the center of the road. B. Right, toward the side of the road. When parking facing downhill on a road with or without a curb, or when facing uphill on a road without a curb, turn your front wheels toward the edge of the road so your vehicle will roll away from traffic if the brakes fail. However, when parking uphill on a road with a curb, turn your wheels toward the center of the road so the vehicle will roll into the curb if the brakes fail. When stopping on snow or ice, drivers who are operating vehicles equipped with an anti-lock braking system (ABS) should A. Pump the brakes. B. Press and hold the brake pedal firmly. C. Stay off the brakes and wait for the car to drift to a stop. B. Press and hold the brake pedal firmly. When driving a vehicle equipped with an anti-lock braking system (ABS), a driver should press the brake pedal firmly when stopping on a snowy or icy surface. The ABS will pump the brakes more rapidly than a driver would be able to. When approaching an intersection that is controlled by a flashing red traffic signal, you must A. Come to a complete stop, yield to oncoming traffic or pedestrians, then proceed. B. Reduce your speed and proceed with caution. C. Come to a complete stop and remain stopped as long as the light is red. A. Come to a complete stop, yield to oncoming traffic or pedestrians, then proceed. Treat a flashing red traffic signal the same as you would treat a stop sign. Come to a complete stop, yield to oncoming traffic or pedestrians, and proceed when the way is clear. When driving in fog, you should A. Slow down and use your low beam headlights. B. Slow down and use your high beam headlights. C. Turn your lights on and off to warn other drivers. A. Slow down and use your low beam headlights. When driving in fog, you should slow down and use your low beam headlights. If the fog is so bad that you cannot see, pull off the road and wait for the fog to clear. You are coming to an intersection with a flashing red light. You should A. Slow down and yield the right of way. B. Slow down and drive carefully through the intersection. C. Come to a complete stop, check the traffic, and go when it is safe to do so. C. Come to a complete stop, check the traffic, and go when it is safe to do so. A flashing red traffic light means the same thing as a stop sign. You must come to a complete stop, yield to other traffic and pedestrians, and then proceed when it's safe to do so. If your vehicle has mechanical trouble while on a public road and you need to stop, you should A. Stop where you are and turn on your hazard lights. B. Stop where you are and hold down your horn. C. Pull off the right side of the road and turn on your hazard lights. C. Pull off the right side of the road and turn on your hazard lights. If your vehicle has mechanical trouble while on a public road and you need to stop driving, pull off the right side of the road, if possible. Turn on your hazard lights to help other drivers see your vehicle while you wait for help. When passing another vehicle, you should return to your original lane when A. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. B. You have cleared the front bumper of the passed vehicle. C. You are 50 feet in front of the passed vehicle. A. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. When passing another vehicle, move back into your original lane only when you can see the passed vehicle's headlights in your rearview mirror. This ensures that you will have enough room to safely pull back in front of the other vehicle. In traffic moving at 50 to 55 miles per hour, you are least likely to have an accident if you A. Drive a few miles per hour faster than most other vehicles. B. Stay within that speed range. C. Drive a few miles per hour slower than most other vehicles. If you are being passed in a no-passing zone, you should A. Pull off the road. B. Maintain your speed and position. C. Slow down and let the other driver safely return to the drive lane. C. Slow down and let the other driver safely return to the drive lane. Passing areas are based on how far ahead drivers can see. Allow the passing vehicle to re-enter the drive lane as easily as possible to help everyone avoid potential upcoming hazards. There are two traffic lanes moving in your direction. You are driving in the left lane and many vehicles are passing you on the right. If the driver behind you wishes to drive faster, you should A. Stay in your lane so you don't impede the flow of traffic. B. Drive onto the left shoulder to let the other vehicles pass. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. To drive quickly, pass, or turn left, use the left lane. Use the right lane when driving more slowly than surrounding traffic, entering the road, or turning right. To see objects in their blind spot when changing lanes, drivers should check A. Only the left outside mirror. B. Over their left or right shoulder. C. Only the inside rearview mirror. B. Over their left or right shoulder. Your vehicle's blind spots are the areas that you cannot see in your mirrors. Look over the appropriate shoulder to check your blind spot when changing lanes. This white sign means A. The railroad crossing is controlled. Continue at your regular speed. B. Look, listen, and prepare to stop at the crossing if necessary. C. Stop at the railroad tracks and wait for a signal before crossing. B. Look, listen, and prepare to stop at the crossing if necessary. When approaching a railroad crossing, you must look, listen, slow down, and prepare to stop. Let any trains pass before you proceed. This sign means A. School crossing. B. School zone. C. Pedestrian crossing. You want to park uphill on a two-way road and there is no curb. Which direction do you turn your front wheels? A. Straight ahead. B. Right, toward the side of the road. C. Left, toward the center of the road. B. Right, toward the side of the road. When parking either uphill or downhill on a road that has no curb, you should turn your wheels so that the vehicle will roll away from the center of the road if the brakes fail. When you see a flashing yellow light at an intersection, you should A. Yield to all traffic before crossing the intersection. B. Stop, then enter the intersection when it is safe to do so. C. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. C. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. A flashing yellow light at an intersection indicates that drivers should slow to a safe and reasonable speed and proceed with caution. When passing another vehicle, A. Pass the vehicle as slowly as possible. B. Drive at the same speed as the vehicle you are passing. C. Pass the vehicle as safely and as quickly as possible. C. Pass the vehicle as safely and as quickly as possible. When passing another vehicle that is traveling in the same direction as you, pass quickly to resume visibility. Return to your previous lane only when you can see both of the vehicle's headlights in your rearview mirror. You should not use your horn. A. When visibility ahead is limited. B. If you might hit another vehicle. C. Near blind pedestrians. C. Near blind pedestrians. When driving near a blind pedestrian, using your horn may be dangerous. Yield to the pedestrian and proceed when it is safe to do so. This sign means A. Divided highway. B. Railroad warning. C. No passing zone. A. Divided highway. This sign indicates that a divided highway begins ahead. You are crossing an intersection and an emergency vehicle is approaching while using its siren and flashing lights. You should A. Stop immediately in the intersection until it passes. B. Pull to the right of the intersection and stop. C. Continue through the intersection, pull to the right, and stop. C. Continue through the intersection, pull to the right, and stop. If you are in an intersection when you see an emergency vehicle approaching while using its flashing lights and/or siren, continue through the intersection and then drive to the right and stop. You must yield the right of way to any police vehicle, fire engine, ambulance, or other emergency vehicle using a siren or flashing lights. When exiting the interstate, drivers should begin to decelerate. A. As they turn on their blinker to enter the deceleration lane. B. Once they see a sign indicating their desired exit. C. After turning into the deceleration lane. C. After turning into the deceleration lane. When exiting the interstate, maintain your speed for as long as you are on the main road. Do not slow down until you move into the deceleration lane. What is an important step in turning? A. Check traffic in all directions. B. Increase your speed. C. Always move to the left lane. A. Check traffic in all directions. When turning, you should look to the rear and both sides of your vehicle to ensure it is safe to proceed before making the turn. Adjust your speed to safely complete the turn. This sign means A. Merge. B. Winding road ahead. C. Reserved parking for persons with disabilities. A. Merge. This sign warns that two lanes of traffic going the same direction will soon merge into one lane. A school bus has stopped ahead of you in your lane with its red lights flashing. You should A. Stop and proceed when you think all of the children have exited the bus. B. Slow to 25 miles per hour and pass cautiously. C. Stop for as long as the red lights are flashing. C. Stop for as long as the red lights are flashing. When a stopped school bus is using its flashing red lights, approaching drivers must stop and remain stopped until the lights stop flashing. If the school bus is on the opposite side of a divided highway, drivers do not need to stop. This sign is used to warn drivers about A. Upcoming intersections. B. Road construction. C. Road curves ahead. C. Road curves ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign is used to warn drivers about an upcoming curve to the right. If you plan to pass another vehicle, you should A. Not assume the other driver will make space for you to return to your lane. B. Assume the other driver will let you pass if you use your turn signal. C. Assume the other driver will maintain a constant speed. A. Not assume the other driver will make space for you to return to your lane. Even when you signal, you should not assume that the space you want to occupy is free or that other drivers will give you the right of way. If you become drowsy while driving, you should A. Try to fight it. B. Take a break. C. Take some caffeine pills. B. Take a break. If you start to feel tired while driving, drive to the first available rest stop or service area to take a break, nap, stretch, or change drivers. You should not rely on caffeine pills or energy drinks, as these are not a replacement for rest and may make your driving even more dangerous. This yellow signs means A. The road ahead has many curves. B. There is a sharp curve in the road ahead. C. The road ahead may be slippery. C. The road ahead may be slippery. This sign indicates that the road ahead may be slippery when wet. You are driving on a city street and see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights behind you. What should you do? A. Drive to the right edge of the road and slow down. B. Drive to the right edge of the road and stop. C. Stay in your lane, Slow down, and let it pass. B. Drive to the right edge of the road and stop. You must yield the right of way to any emergency vehicle that is using its siren and lights. Drive to the right edge of the road and stop until the emergency vehicle has passed. If you are within an intersection, drive through the intersection first and then stop. If bad weather makes it difficult for you to see clearly, you should A. Speed up to get off the road quickly. B. Drive in the lane closest to oncoming traffic. C. Increase your following distance. At intersections with a yield sign, you must A. Yield the right of way to cross traffic that is near enough to cause conflict. B. Yield the right of way only to vehicles on your right. C. Always slow down and proceed without stopping. A. Yield the right of way to cross traffic that is near enough to cause conflict. At a yield sign, you must slow down or stop, if necessary, and give the right of way to crossing or merging vehicles. Yield the right of way to any cross traffic that is close enough to cause conflict.